Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to a little shorts. I like to throw these in to the content once in a while, and I'm just photographing a fort that actually during the summer period looks to be a bit of an adventurous playground with lots of zip lining and all kinds of stuff, so it's a real shame it isn't open. Anyway, it's about 15 minutes before sunrise. It looks like we have some clearance over on the horizon, and we actually have some lovely clouds kind of in the opposite direction, so kind of hoping we might get a little bit of colour. The opportunities for compositions here are few and far between, well demarcated by the erosion in the soil where other tripods I'm sure have stood. But I just thought I'd come down here again, thinking a little bit with an old commercial head as we continue to hopefully submit articles for various travel magazines. So I'll kind of give you a little bit of an overview of the area, and then we'll see whether we can compose something. Hopefully you can see on the back of the camera the initial composition that I'm going for. Now my main aim is actually sort of post sunrise, and hopefully getting a little bit of sidelight on that fort, but why not make an image sort of pre-sunrise as well. Now I'm shooting a series of bracketed shots, and I'm shooting kind of 5 images underexposed, way too many for a camera such as the old GFX. I'm pretty sure I could probably shoot 2 or 3 and still sort of get an acceptable image, but again, I like to experiment. I like to have a little bit of fun, and most importantly, still getting my head around what's possible with the GFX. And believe it or not, this is actually, I think, one of the first sunrise shoots that I've actually done with the camera. We've mostly been sort of focusing on sunsets and stuff just because where we've been parked up and things. So yeah, so basically focusing out on the fort, 5 images, and looking to piece those together. Looking to sort of expand the dynamic range, mainly because of that really bright patch of sky. There's about 3-4 stops of difference of light there. Now I think, as I said, the image that I'm sort of going for is more post sunrise, whenever hopefully we'll get a little bit of colour on that sky. Now what is slightly disappointing, it's only about 5 or so minutes away from sunrise, and I really had hoped that all of this was going to take on some colour, but alas, so far not to be. Right, let's make the image and I'll put it up after this. My bad. Completely miscalculated the sun position, and as you can see, that's why the clouds aren't taking on the colour. I was sitting going, that's not possible, there's such a lovely gap. I haven't had any coffee, that's my excuse. So the sun is actually directly behind the fort, which of course wouldn't have worked either for the sort of image that I wanted. That's what happens whenever you don't do a lot of planning, Nigel. Now, the old famous words that you hear me utter quite a lot, all we need is a wee gap. But that sun has now risen in behind that bank of clouds. Lack of planning, Nigel, lack of planning, hey? So I think my only saving grace is going to be that on Thursday it looks like things are going to be much clearer. Maybe even tomorrow morning, but Thursday for sure. And so I might be able to sort of come back and try to capture this frame again. But I just wanted to put this little short up, just a little intersperse the main vlogs on Sundays with just a little sort of snippet, and just talking a little bit about my thought process behind the actual images. I was actually using a 16:9 aspect ratio. Now one of the issues that I've had all along this coast, I just spin around, lots of kind of, it's difficult to sort of get a full expansive frame. Now I was going for it by a 16:9 aspect ratio initially, and then my thought process was going to be, if that mackerel sky would have taken, if I had realised where the sun was, then I was going to go probably to a more 4:3 and actually focus more in the 16:9. It was more sort of giving more prominence to both the fort, obviously, and obviously the bracket of light here. But if the sky had have taken on, then a 4:3 aspect ratio would have allowed me to push the frame up, have the fort more at the bottom, and then hopefully have all of that colour. Maybe I'll just paint it in afterwards. Anyway guys, well, just a little short. Thought I would bring you along for this Nigel lost the sun moment. And as always, thanks a lot for following along, and until next time, take care. Bye bye. Lost the blinking sun, eh?